I'm Kelly Gardner, and I'm going to tell you today how I got to where I am. I grew up in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and when I was little, I didn't know what I wanted to be. At first, I wanted to be a pirate. Sometimes I wanted to be a policewoman, and other times I wanted to be a vet because I loved animals. But I went to school in a very dangerous area, and it made me want to work towards a career that would help me make the world a better place. So I decided that I wanted to be a judge. And I went to school and studied everything that would lead me into a law career. I focused on all the subjects that would help me get into law school, and I eventually did. I made it into law school, and it felt great to finally be working towards a dream that I'd been focused on my whole school career. But after 1 month of studying law, I realized something. I hated it. I hated law, and I felt like everything I'd worked so hard for was a waste of time because I was so disappointed. I continued studying for the rest of the year, just to make sure it was something I definitely didn't enjoy. And after failing all of my classes, I decided to switch majors. This is my university, the University of the Witwatersrand in Johannesburg, and it's really nice. It's a great big university in the middle of the city. So I went there and I switched to English and philosophy, and I loved it. However, the whole time, everyone was telling me I should have studied something that would have led to a proper job, and I didn't care. I was learning all about books and great philosophical theories. I was learning how to form strong opinions and justify my arguments, and I was learning different perspectives of thinking about the world. So once I graduated, I still had no idea what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I stayed in uni and I did postgrad in English. For the next year, I did creative writing, travel writing, Old English, literary theory, and was employed to teach South African poetry and romanticism to first-year students. I was in my element and I loved it. And my supervisor said to me, "Why don't you do something that you'd really enjoy?" So I discovered I could do a master's in Gothic literature. I did my dissertation on zombies and vampires, and I realized that the best university to do this at was Stirling University. So I came to Stirling, did my master's, and when I finished, I realized I still didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I thought I'd stay in university where it's safe and do a PhD on zombies. I spent all my time reading books about zombies, watching movies about zombies, and researching the culture and the theory of monsters and zombies. I also discovered a whole new group of people passionate about Gothic literature and joined the International Gothic Association. I traveled all over Canada, presenting my work, being asked to publish in books, and those books have been read all over the world and are in libraries all over the world. And I never believed there were so many people interested in zombies. At the same time, though, people were still asking me what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I didn't really know how to do anything other than research, but I knew how to bake. So I decided to start my own baking business. And I went on bookkeeping courses and food safety courses and started a baking business. I managed to do them both at the same time, so watch zombie movies and bake. And it was great. But I needed to focus on finishing my PhD, and I did that. I stopped baking and focused fully on completing a thesis on zombies. And I was so happy. I'd achieved something that had been such a difficult thing to do, but I still didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I became a teaching fellow at the university, and for 3 years I taught English. I taught about all the books I enjoyed reading all day, every day, and it was great. But after a while I got a little bored and I thought, I need to be doing something else. I need to be doing something more challenging. So I discovered CodeBase, and I didn't know what they did there, but I knew that I wanted to work there. So I thought, whatever job they advertise for, I'm going to apply for, and 2 months later I got the job. So I started working at the front desk and doing social media. And I loved it so much. I was learning all about the tech industry and all about startups and how technology could change the way we experience the world. And even though I didn't know anything about coding, I started working as a mentor at Pre-Wired and Digital Skills for Girls. I slowly taught myself Scratch and how to code microbits. And if you told me a year ago that I'd be running workshops on coding, I would never have believed it. But I just love it. I love teaching kids how to develop ideas and how to put those ideas into code and produce something. So what's next? The past year of my life has moved in a completely different direction to where I expected to be. I spent 15 years studying literature and books and working towards a career as a lecturer in a university. And all it took was a simple impulse action to apply for a job I had no experience in to drastically alter my life. So I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I've thoroughly enjoyed the journey that's brought me to this point. If there's one piece of advice I can offer you, it's this. Don't worry if you haven't got it all figured out. Most people don't. And it's never too late to change your mind. So don't stop trying new things and don't stop learning, because you never know when a random opportunity might turn into something great. Take chances and don't be afraid to make mistakes, and most importantly, just enjoy the journey. Thank you.